Hello, people. I am honestly getting myself situated. Um, I'll try to make this episode before it starts raining. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Hello, hello to the world. This is your host of Share Some More Radio Show, DJ OG Princess. Hello, 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 hello. Listen, I'm hoping we can all be heard loud and clear. Things are not gonna be as perfect as I had wanted it to be. I mean, there's people looking at me as I'm recording my podcast, but it's okay because even at the radio station, at one point there's a glass screen and everybody used to look at me when you would pass by. And that's okay because y'all gonna see me after this recording, you're gonna hear my voice, and that's something we all gotta get used to here, including myself. So today is June 11th, 2022, approximately 5:46 p.m. when I'm recording this, and I just really wanted to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you, friend. I haven't talked to you in a long time, and I'm sure that's like, ugh, where has she been? Where have you been? I'm gonna be honest. Today, I really want to talk about some light and heavy or needed topics, something that's been weighing on my heart, things that I've been going through, actively going through it, and being able to come here and talk to you about the things that I see on a microscopic view is something that we can all learn from, and something I want you to know, and is a motto for Share Some More Radio Show and podcast, is silence is not the wave. Silence really is not the wave. When we see something, we go through something, it's really healing to actually speak on it. Not talk about just the negative, but really talk about what is going on. So today, I want to give you a visual. If you follow me on Instagram at DJ OG Princess, I'm probably going to repost this visual that I'm talking about. And this visual is a giant storm cloud. I believe it was like a crazy thunder storm. It was giant clouds, probably like 2 football fields worth of space up in the sky. And this is a reel that I'm watching. So just imagine a giant forming cloud that is just circulating around in the atmosphere. And in the middle is like literally where all the commotion is being felt. On the outside, the clouds are forming, very huge, very abrasive, very strong. There's thunder, there's lightning, and inside is where all the commotion is happening. And when I was watching that video, as you visualize it in your space too, I thought about my own life, and I thought about what's going on with other people's lives as well. Sometimes in our lives, and how I related it is that storm often comes in our lives when we start overthinking, when we start doubting, when we're in our deepest depths of ourselves and we're trying to balance what's going on the outside versus what's going on in the inside. That can be really difficult to navigate. And for most times, I would say 8 out of 10 times, unless you have really strong mental solitude, and even if you do, sometimes you slip up, you're gonna be thinking negatively. When you're going through a transformative phase, or you're going through something, as y'all know, since the past 3 years, we've all been going through something, okay? Collectively. When you're going through something, it's really easy to think of the worst case scenario. It is really easy to overthink. It is really easy to have self-depleting thoughts. It is so easy imagining and accepting things to be at their worst. And those are the clouds that form around us. Those are the clouds that form around us. We're having doubts, we're having second thoughts. We're like, oh my gosh, the chaos that we see, the chaos that's happening outside of us starts coming inside of us. It starts interfering with our internal state, and it really shakes us up. And I believe and I know COVID has done that for us in the past 3 years. on top of all the things that we are experiencing personally, okay? And I'm starting off this way because, once again, there are people staring at me right now as I'm recording, but it's okay because I'm not my comfort zone. Whenever I do share some more podcasts, really I tell everyone is God-given because it came from up here. Same way when I dance, sometimes I don't like people looking at me and I'll stop. But I know if I'm in the zone and this is what I'm doing and I love to do it, I'm going to keep on doing it. So I'm going to continue on doing it. And that's the balance we all fight on a daily. You're here being present, yet the atmosphere and your environment, including your thoughts, your head cap, is really affecting you. Have you really thought about that in depth? How you can be one person in a moment, in different time lapses and different timelines, and like I'm sitting here but I could be thinking about something that happened 2 years ago. I'm in two different spaces, and that's something I want to bring back to the present today here at Share Some More radio show. How we can navigate and literally go through our inner dwellings and be able to navigate strongly regardless of what's happening on the outside world. And I want to do that by sharing my experience, my insight, some data, I just want to share my experience on how I can provide insight on that, because something that is core to Share Some More, as well as my culture, embedded to my identity, is storytelling. Storytelling is something that we as people, as Kikuyu people, as Black people, as African people, specifically, I can only speak for myself, is a way that we are able to share our history, are able to pass down things, knowledge, experiences, stories, etc. Okay? So, I will want to move on. Yeah. So listen, just like Kendrick dropped the album, his album a few weeks ago, okay? I've been going through something. For how many days and how many nights? This Kendrick Lamar I keep seeing TikToks. I'm forgetting the amount exactly how long Kendrick Lamar was out and not putting any music. But when he came back hard, man. I've been going through something. Over 3 years, man. I've been going through something. Ever since I told myself to go on this self-care journey, self-love journey, man, I've been going through it. And I don't usually look like my struggles. That's something y'all gonna know. That's something y'all already know. I don't look like my struggles, no. You cannot always look like your struggles. Sometimes you can't help it. There's nothing you can do. Other times, well, you better. And that's something I want to share with y'all. Some things that I've been going through that I spoke about, and I will speak about, and how I've been literally navigating two healthier paths to combat the heaviness, to combat the pain, to combat the idleness, to combat the boredness when it's really peace. All these things. So this is a part of life, okay? This is a part of life. And even on Instagram, all social media, people that I'm talking to, I just know collectively we're all going through something. Whether it's positive, mostly positive and some negatives, or mostly negatives and some positive. We are all going through our own journey, including asking ourselves, what is it we're doing? Like, what is going on here? All these questions we're asking ourselves. All these questions I'm also asking myself. So what's the next move? What is this relationship doing for me? How is my relationship with myself? Like, what is really going on, Gemma? And some things that I've been working through is balancing, one, being myself fully and growing, and two, it has been a year since I quit my job and started Purple Garden Virtual Solutions, which is my online business, my virtual assistant business. It's been a full year since I banked on myself and I said, go, 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 go. Since I said go, this is your time. It's been a year. It's amazing. It's honestly amazing that I am even here speaking on it, that I'm making money off my business. I am happy at what I do. It's a full circle where I'm working and who I'm working with. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. I started my business. The conception of it happened a while ago, since I was young. But the actual drive and super intentional energy happened last year, even before I quit my job. I'm gonna share with y'all my vlogs. If it's something I recommend, she's laughing at me. If it's something I recommend everyone doing in this journey, as I share with you what I've done to help myself, is vlog, journal, okay? For me, it was writing stuff, journaling. Now I vlog. I make sure if I don't have time to write, if I really want to speak, I vlog. I make a video. It could be in the morning, it could be in the evening, it could be whatever time, whatever I feel, or even voice memos. I do that as well. So I remember vlogging several times. Actually, I remember recording. It was just like an Instagram or Snapchat type post. I remember several times where I'm like, I can't wait to quit my job. When I was in the office and when I was at the office, I was like, I cannot wait to quit my job. And I would just remember like people in the company who've been there 20, 30 years, and y'all really like this? Absolutely not. I am a part of the young millennials and generation who, what is it called? The Great Resignation. I am a part of those individuals who took the Great Resignation. I used to be joking, I'm like, let them give me a reason to quit. You know, people joke about it a lot on the internet. Let my job just do one more thing. I'm gonna put my 2 weeks, my 2 minutes, my 2 days. Y'all should have known 2 weeks ago I was gonna quit my job. Why I gotta give you a notice ahead of time? So you can fire me when I tell you? Like, like all these crazy things that you know, when we see older people, they're like, oh my God, you know, I've been through wars, etc. I've been through all these different eras in my life. So have we. So have I, okay? Let me speak specifically for myself. So have I and you, okay? You and I, so have you and I. We've gone through several life-changing, altering events. Both catastrophic and really great, okay? And we're still going through it. And this is why I feel it's so important to have these conversations when I'm coming to you, because things are really shifting. Things are falling apart so they could come back together. Things are shaking apart so they don't come back together and form and redefine in another way. That's what I feel like a lot of relationships are happening, even in my own life, where there's a time of separation between the people that I really love, or I feel I need to not really isolate, where I need to like ground myself and just be with myself, no matter how emotional or how much it hurts. Because for me, I'm a people person. I love people. I also like to be by myself. But if I really love you and I like to be around your presence, I'm gonna be wanting to be there often. And I am going through that where it's like I need to be solid, more than solid during times of chaos. You know, I'm gonna speak on this later, but something Kyrie Irving said in his live a few days ago, almost a week ago, on Sunday. He said, when we are faced with times of chaos and trauma, we revert to our old ways. Like I said in the beginning, it's very easy to overthink and very easy to go down that downhill. It's very easy to continue to live in this low vibrational trauma, inner child wounded space where if you don't even know what that means, where it's like, dang, I've been traumatized, that's why I act like that. I haven't really dealt with those wounds yet. If you haven't even reached that space, you are being forced to reach that space. And a lot of people don't really know how to deal with themselves. They don't know how to deal with their inner turmoil. They don't know how to do that. Me, my friend, let me tell you something real deep. All my life, I thank God for my support, my team, my family, my friends, my partners, past and present, my best friends, future, all the people who have been there for me when I needed it. Like this lady told me it was gonna rain 20-30 minutes ago. It's been over like 30 minutes because you know why? God is good all the time. He is good, and the universe is with me. But I sidetrack. All those people who have been with me all my life, like who've been there supporting me when I could speak, when I couldn't speak, I'm just so grateful for them. Yet, I know for a fact I've gone through my whole life, a large majority of my life, conquering my own demons. I've gone through this life being able to sit down with myself at one point in time and be like, Gimma, what's up? Gimma, what happened? Gimma, why are you sad? Gimma, why are you so happy? Gimma, why are you so mad? What happened? And for me, where I used to operate and where I know we can relate and where we can grow and improve together in this journey is where we used to think, where we're so used to thinking. And for me, when I would be faced with certain situations like quitting my job and having to bank on myself, or leaving a toxic mindset about relationships and now entering a really healthy one, and not just romantic but also platonic, where I've dealt with toxic friendships, people who we're not on the same mindset anymore, we don't relate, they're not supportive, whatever the case may be. I've had to come to terms with that space, friendship. Now, things that I've dealt with that I know you can relate to, and I keep going back because I'm trying to take my time and not speed too quickly because I have a lot, and I'm trying to make sure this is short and sweet, where you can listen to it and come back to it and also pause and also be like, wow, she said something there. What do I think about that in my own life? So some things that I used to really default in and that I've worked through and that I'm working through. I'm not saying I'm complete in all these things, but I am saying that I have made it a conscious and intentional effort to face these problems within myself, which is overthinking, negative thinking, self-sabotaging, self-depleting thoughts. Like imagining my worst fears in my head, accepting things and change sometimes was difficult for me. Having trust issues because of experiences that I had, or just not putting trust when I should have, where I shouldn't have. And really seeing where these insecurities or these flaws or these learned behaviors came from. A lot of them came from my childhood. A lot of them honestly came from my childhood, and I've had to really come and face that beast, face that young girl and tell her, hey, like, what's going on here? What? Oh, this is why I've been doing this. Like, really being aware. This is a different type of awareness when you making it intentional to be like, hey, I love myself fully, or I'm learning to love myself fully. I'm learning to take care of myself fully. Why is it I do these things? Why is it I feel these things? Why is it I keep doing the same things and not getting the result I want? Or why is it I'm doing the same things and it's coming out this way? You know what I'm saying? So some of these things that I've dealt with in different situations, and currently in the beginning of COVID to where I am now is totally different. It is totally different, and I'm telling you, especially for people like me who are big-hearted, who are kind, who care a lot about people, who also care a lot about their energy and protecting it, you're gonna have to go through pain, man. The longer that you prolong pain, the longer you prolong being with yourself and knowing yourself. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. I'm just gonna keep it 100. Eh? It's not a nice thing. Healing, your healing journey is ugly, okay? If you're really doing the work, your healing journey often is really ugly. And that's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to be okay, and it's okay for your healing journey to be ugly. Let's hydrate to that. Because listen, I'm seeing a lot of people getting to heartbreaks. I'm seeing a lot of people choosing different career paths for themselves. I'm seeing a lot of people moving, choosing to pack their stuff and just go to a different place and start afresh. I'm seeing people putting a hold or stopping doing things that they don't serve them no more. And I'm also seeing the absolute extreme. I'm seeing also the absolute extreme, which is why I don't like to be on social media that much. It's extremely toxic. It's extremely, so many illusions. So that's something that I need y'all to be clear on. That when you're healing and when you're going through your journey, it's gonna be ugly. And that's why I even brought that story, because sometimes it really is the craziness before the calm, the chaos before the calm, yet something that you must know and that you must try to maintain and grow in, and which I'm growing in and settling in so deeply, is being still, is being grounded, is going through my feelings, feeling it through, and also staying calm. Doing things that you love and make you happy. Like, you have to make sure that you remind yourself of who you are. Know who you are. So those things I talked about previously, this is what I'm doing to make sure I'm serious about myself and being present. And something I want you to relate to is making sure you know who you are. Now, for me, I know who I am. I'm Gima Wabubu, aka DJ OG Princess. I am creative, I am a woman, I am energetic, I'm a ball of energy. I'm also really, really calm. I am magical, and etc. You think about yourself and what attributes and what things that you immediately think of, okay? And remind yourself of that. Also, if you're a spiritual person, I grew up in church. I grew up in a Christian home, and for me, my journey with God and Christ has transformed into such expansion beyond even what I can fathom, and what I like to stay open. So for me, I grew up Christian, but right now I'm really open. I'm really, I will say, spiritual, because I read the Bible. I also read a few verses from the Quran. Also, I like some Buddha philosophies, other life philosophies. Like, they all have golden rules and they all relate, and we all believe in one God, one high God, man, one giant energy that is just abundant in so many different forms. And why I bring that up is because spiritually, man, being able to be still and not doubting, that stillness is like, I think of it recently. I read the verse about Peter. I believe it was Peter, when Jesus walked on water. And I'm gonna look up the verse. I'll probably put it on the screen or go back to it, because right now I don't have that in my notes, but it just came upon me when I was thinking about it. But I was reading about the story of Jesus when he was walking on water, and Peter and his disciples. Like, Jesus and his disciples, what I did that day when it just came upon my spirit to just kind of read this verse about walking on water. Okay, never mind. Look at me. We're back. This is your host, DJ OG Princess, okay? For Share Some More Radio Show. I was on Instagram and I followed this dope page, super woke, super intuitive, super intentional, and it talked about it brought up a question that was like, what if God is water? And then different people shared their experiences, but some of the comments that caught my eye was like the 7 seas, the 7 chakras. Somebody else commented like, they do say in the Bible there's a spirit that hovers the sea. And then another person talked about how God speaks through us through water, through electromagnetic, that kind of science stuff. I was like, wow. I was blown away because I've never thought about it that way. Like, of course I've thought about God and it's infinite. I don't only subscribe God to He, but because Father God, you know what I'm saying? We do what we do. There's definitely God the entity. There's not just this white Jesus, okay? That don't exist in my world. But I do see God in everything, in nature. He created the sky. They created the sky, the seas, etc. So it would only make sense where they would also be part of it, right? Just like in Hinduism, there's different gods. But that really intrigued my interest and intrigued my spirit. So I went into the Bible and I read about Jesus walking on water. And what I did though is I read the full chapter as opposed to just that particular verse. And that day, Jesus and his disciples had an adventure. Listen, it started off where Jesus wanted some alone time, all because John the Baptist. Guy, no, like I'm really here talking about the Bible. I'm really here preaching to y'all because it relates. So Jesus was wanting some alone time because he had heard that John the Baptist basically died. He got beheaded. That story was even crazy with the king. So John the Baptist was beheaded and Jesus wanted some alone time, I believe, to grieve and just kind of be with himself and pray. Yet when he was gonna go do that, there's a bee. But basically Jesus wanted to be by himself, but something interrupted him and he saw compassion for the thing that interrupted him, which was a crowd of people. He saw compassion, he wanted to go heal them, and after that his disciples were trying to send the people home and go tell them to go eat home. But Jesus was like, what you mean? Like, no, come over here. What do we got? And that's the story of Jesus and the 5 loaves and fish, and he fed thousands of people. Yeah, the disciples were trying to kick the people out after they had interrupted time with Jesus to go to wherever he was gonna go. But then, Jesus is like beyond super compassion and empathy, and he was like, it's okay, I'm gonna take care of my people. I'm gonna feed them in their soul and spirit and heal them and also feed them. What you mean? So after he had fed them, he had told his disciples to go ahead of him and take the boat, go ahead of him, and he's gonna go meet them. And so Jesus went to up top. He went to a mountain and started praying and doing all these things, like literally praying and meditating. Finally, Jesus had time for himself, and he was praying and meditating, and his disciples were in the boat. And after a while, after meditating and praying, Jesus just kind of knew what time it was. And his disciples were ahead of time. I don't know why I'm even laughing, but his disciples were ahead of him, and Jesus, the story tells us, the Bible tells us, Jesus decided to walk on water and meet his disciples ahead of them. But it was kind of like foggy and like just the sea type of conditions. So his disciples saw a ghost, and like that's what they saw. Like there's something lurking in the waters. It looks scary. His disciples got scared. Peter specifically got scared. He's like, oh my God, what is going on? And then Jesus was like, he basically told Peter to walk in faith and trust him. And then Peter was like, all right, bet. If this is you, Jesus, let me walk on water. So then Peter started walking on water, but then he got distracted by the wind. Peter got distracted by the wind, and then he got scared. He was like, oh my God. Basically, he started panicking and doubting, and he started sinking. Once he got distracted by the wind and doubting, twofold. He got distracted, then he started doubting, and he sunk. And he's like, hey, Jesus, help me. Hey, help me. And then Jesus picked him up, and he was like, hey, you of little faith, What happened? You, what happened? The first thing he said to Peter is, you of little faith. I was like, dang, you blew me out the water, God. I don't know. Just by watching that Instagram post, I came here and I got something from this. And I related to my own life. You know, we'd be like, God, I want that thing. Universe, I want that thing. And then the universe and God is like, bet. Sends us mad signals, angel numbers, preaching, scriptures, etc. And then we're like, yeah, we're gonna do it. It's happening. And then we get distracted or something throws us off. And then we're like, oh my God. Basically, literally. Not to say his name in vain, but hey! Then we start panicking and doubting. Twofold. We ask for something. We are given the go. Then when it's happening, something happens that throws us off and we start doubting. And then here comes God again. Being like, what happened, you have little faith? And that part touched me in this season. Because it's like, I be asking for God. I be asking myself, you want this, right? You want Share Some More Radio? You want to continue? Why haven't you been consistent for a few months? The people are waiting for you. And if they're not waiting for you, they're waiting to hear a new show. They're waiting to hear music. They're waiting. I mean, there's people listening to you on the regular. Why haven't you done that? And it's like, oh, like, I wasn't really sure that, like, this was the right content to put it out. So I just wasn't consistent for those time period. Instead of being consistent and being like, all right, we're going to test it. Just put it out there. We're going to test it. Yeah, we said we want this. We want to continue to Share Some More. That's just like one example, but that's something that you can relate into your own life. You ask God for something, and then when you get it, or when you're in the process of it, you become impatient. I'm learning patience. Me, I have a lot of patience, but I'm learning I'm impatient with myself sometimes. I am impatient with myself in the process sometimes. That's why I hurt my own self. Like, dang, Gimma, you just asked for this. You just weren't fully aware that you're in this. Calm down. We got you. And that's where I'm at. Like, literally being okay with we got you, and like resting in that. Resting in knowing that I've been gotten. I'm okay. I'm not forgotten, okay? And that's where we all just relate in our human spiritual experience, okay? Because you need to do more than just the spiritual work. You need to do more than just spiritual work. That's why also I'm working out. You have to work out. You have to balance your spiritual focus. You have to focus and like align what's going on spiritually. Like, I'm growing strong spiritually. I'm also growing strong by pushing my limit. If I could focus my energy, there's a post, I'll put it up. If I can focus my energy so much on negative things, I can also put my focus times 10 on the positive things, on pushing myself. Because working out really is good for your mental health, and it will make you feel better. So that's where we all need to continue doing the inner work. That's where we all intersect in this thing of all that we're going through. Yes, we're all going through something, yet we must do the inner work. We must do the inner work to go through it. We must raise our awareness to see what is going on with what we're doing, with our actions, with our intentions. It's necessary to heal the inner turmoil and be self-reflective on these issues that we all have. Family issues, trauma issues, relationship issues. Maybe I can't relate to all the problems that you have, but it's okay. I'm sure I can relate to one or two, or I can empathize. We're all going through it, positively and negatively. You need a moral compass, which guides and connects your mind, body, spirit, and soul. For me, I have my daily routines, my morning routines. I pray, I meditate, I take my teas. I make sure that I'm doing the inner work. I make sure I'm always going outside. I thank you for nature. I make sure that I'm mindful of my thoughts, what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, making sure I'm drinking more water. Hello. And literally doing better. This is something that I always talking about on Share Some More radio show, is doing better and developing yourself as well as the culture. Because when we develop ourselves, we're gonna develop a better culture. We're gonna develop a better way of living. We're gonna create better ways of living for our future generations. And now I want to bring it back and kind of start concluding about steps forward, or just a call to action to you to do your best to continue to do the inner work or venture into that space, okay? Kyrie Irving was on live on Sunday last week, and I don't usually watch Kyrie Irving, but my best friend sent me his some recorded screenshots and stuff like that, and we talked about it, and it was really powerful. As a millennial, I really relate to the fact that I know my generation is pivotal to the shift that's happening, and pivotal to the positive shift that is very possible and will happen for our next generation, okay? The essence of me being here, and the essence of our ancestors going through what they went through, and the essence of our parents coming from one land to the other, is for bettering future generations. For bettering future generations, whatever that looks like for you and your family and your legacy. Whether that's educational, spiritually, financially, whatever. And Kyrie Irving literally gave a call to the millennials, people born from 1981 to 1996. 1981 to 1996, he basically put a call to action to us to be like, we gotta do better. We gotta do better. Gen Z is looking up at us, and our previous generation is also looking up to us. They done already passed the baton. They're already behind us. They're done and tired. They done already trashed the earth. Now they're trying to act like they're getting it together, but we are the ones who have been bestowed this wonderful earth, okay, by previous generations in this condition, okay? That's what I'm talking about. The things that you can literally see, the things that you can feel, and the things that you can't see, all right? And I related to that live so much because he was talking some real stuff, right? And I don't know everything, and he don't know everything, but we can share a similar experience and know just like maybe 1%, okay? And something that he touched upon is several things. Honestly, I just want to hit on a few points that he talked about because it just was so powerful. So the shift in the world needs to come from us millennials, the ones who have had a substantial impact on social media and trends, the ones who grew up in the age of the internet, and who were growing up into the age of Web 2 to Web 3. If you were born in Web 1, okay, cool, but like Web 2 to Web 3, from Facebook to now blockchain, crypto technology, hey, things are changing, my friend. Things are changing. So we personally, that's what I said earlier, like we've gone through so many life-changing, altering events. I done grew up and knew about the dial-up. I didn't use it that much, but now I'm here using a cell phone. I can FaceTime, you know? Like, we've gone through a lot of technological advancements and also have helped shape that. And Kyrie Irving said something like, we all at one point follow each other on Instagram, and that to a certain level is influential. It's influential. Like at some point, a lot of people are doing the same things. You're seeing a lot of the same trends, a lot of the same imagery, a lot of the same thing recycled on the internet. And a lot of our Gen Zs, just like all of us humans, are going through big emotions, are going through all different types of things. And a lot of younger people are coming to the internet to share what they're going through good and bad. Like, I just be seeing random young kids doing TikTok dances or like talk about relationships, and I'm like, wow, y'all are young. But for real, a lot of young people, and even people my age, when they're going through something, they come and vent on the internet, which is a good thing and a bad thing, because at least we know okay, maybe this person's not going through it, something good, let's go reach out to them. But also it's like they don't know how to deal with those emotions with themselves, which is really dangerous. It's really dangerous that you're coming on the internet, that you're hopping on an internet, for instance. And please, no one is exempt from this, okay? I'm not exempt from hopping on the internet and be like, dang, in my young mind or in my immature mind, or like just like my venting, whatever, don't care mind, just sharing what's going on, or like, ugh, or just putting up a status that's like mad personal. You know, we've all done that at one point in our life, but it comes to a point where you know, like, I can't do that. Like, this is not my diary, my journal. Like, I have to deal with the fact of what happened, and how can I deal with that? How can I deal with it healthy? A lot of us, especially the ones who are diasporans, who came from one place to another, or who came to America or the UK or etc., wherever you're from, who came from city to village or village to city with just your parents or your luggage or just yourself or your siblings, we weren't taught how to navigate negative situations. We weren't taught, a lot of us were not taught properly how to navigate big emotions or big, heavy feelings, both positively and negatively, but mostly negatively. That's why you see what you see now in the way people act. They don't know how to maturely and healthy release, transmute, transform, just chill, or feel the emotion and then let it go. For me, I've struggled a while of letting certain emotions go, or staying mad for so long, or something happened to me at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday and I'm still thinking about it on Thursday. That's still ruminating from previous state of mind. That's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's not healthy, and that's what I'm talking about. I've had to like learn on my own how to deal with such things and such emotions, and you know, I'm okay with it. And I don't always deal with these big emotions by myself. And I don't encourage you to deal with these big emotions by yourself. We're not meant to self-isolate 24/7. Yes, it's okay to, like Jesus and other spiritual leaders and other gurus and people who meditate regularly, or people who are really successful, or people who are busy, or anybody who has a life knows that you need to do things on your own. Also, you know that there's a lot of things, or some things that you can't do alone, that you shouldn't do alone, or don't want to do alone. And that's okay. That's okay. It's learning and navigating how to do it healthy, so you're not codependent, so you're not codependent to toxic things, people, feelings, that you're not feeling for constant validation on the outside and not validating yourself, that you're making sure that you're doing things that fulfill you, even when you're going through stuff, man. I was watching a vlog, and I'm gonna end soon. I was watching a vlog that I took last year, June 25th, 2021, and something I was telling myself, this is why I love vlogging and the things that I love to do, which is vlogging and journaling. Something I told myself is, I was going through like something with my family that time, and a lot of things were happening just happening around me. It's the time that I quit my job, just a lot of things happening in my home, just like a lot of things are happening in your home and other people's homes that they haven't dealt with. And me at that point in time, giving myself that courage to quit my job, and also already previously taking the time to be intentional on my self-care and self-love journey, at that point I had known I'm about to heal. And y'all, if y'all not activated by me healing, I'ma say it. I'ma say what's been hurting me, or I'ma say what I've been holding on, because I'm good for that. But not now. I'm not holding back no more. At that certain time, in this vlog, I told myself, even when I'm going through something, I always find a way to make myself happy, or do things that make me happy. I'm like, dang. I'm like, you're right. That's what kept me going, like doing things that make me happy, doing things that like give me life, doing new things, doing things on my own. Silver lining, whatever you want to call it. life has to keep flowing. You have to keep moving. You know, this energy has to keep flowing. And for me, it's been a while since I've spoke to y'all, and I'm just happy to be here, to be your friend, to be your host, to be your DJ, and to be a person that you know from across the seas and online, and tell you like, bro, sis, it's okay, we're all going through it. Yet you must do the work. You must do the inner work if you really, really want to love on yourself more, if you really want to be content. And it doesn't always look the same. It doesn't always look like meditation and nature, okay? For you, it could look like boxing and sailing and going to church or hiking, or maybe you need medication. Maybe you need to take this type of vitamin regularly. You know, it does not have to look like what everybody else's healing journey looks like, or what everybody else's remedy to certain things look like, okay? Make sure you find those things that make you happy and make you whole, okay? It's really essential because that also brings healing to future generations, you know? The experiences that each generation went through is still present to current day and in our DNA, which is why healing and not being so comfortable, not always defaulting in chaos and trauma, not always being in fight or flight mode. And it's sometimes the small things that really trigger us and keep us coming back, whether it's going on social media or watching TV, which the system, which Kyrie Irving talked about in his live, the system, which is a set of images created that are false on how we should be, where the system is general objective topics that we've grew up on, whether it's sex, money, culture, financial education, etc. Those things that we've grew up on, the system and the news mainstream wants to keep us low, wants to keep us fearing, wants to keep us down. They want us to keep us, this is what you should look like. You didn't do this, you didn't do that? Okay, this is what happens. Or this is your people, we're gonna erase that history, and this is what actually should happen. No. No, for me, no, it's not looking like that. I don't accept that for myself or for my people, okay? And that's something that I know is strong and present in my spirit, my spirit warrior, and also in others. And it may look like different capacities for you. It may look like different capacities for you, and I call and I challenge you to figure out what that is. And it could be really personal before you actually share it with the world, or share it in a larger scale, the world. It could be with your friends first. It could be with your family first, and then to the world. Or you post it, or you share it, or you have conversation. Because the internet is not everything. And the internet could crash at any moment. Respectfully. Hopefully, listen, anything can happen. Anything can happen, and I want you and I to continue to be calm and content and putting our faith in a higher self, in God. Because for me, when I look at my vlogs and my journals, my younger self or my past self is informing my present self and reassuring her that it's okay, bruh. You've been working. All those things that I talked about that I've been working through, that I know you can relate to, the things that I've actually written down that I've done to help myself outnumber those things. They outnumber the negative. What does that tell me? And what does that tell you? Write it down sometimes and see how much really you are giving to yourself, which is probably a lot more you give yourself credit for. Give yourself more credit, okay? Give yourself more credit and educate yourself. And something Kyrie Irving said as well, educate the youth the right way. Heal your inner child, educate them the right way. Learn, unlearn, relearn. It's okay. And honestly, I'm gonna wrap it up because That's what I gotta say. That's the real juicy, hefty part of this conversation. This has been something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time. So I'm happy that I was able to share that with y'all. Cause come on, y'all. Let's be serious. We gotta don't take life too seriously that you're in a chokehold. But don't be too loose that you don't even know, like you're not even asking yourself and not listening to yourself. You're not asking yourself real questions, or you're not listening to yourself, you know? And that goes on for myself as well. Like, I'm not just speaking to you, I'm speaking to us, okay? And on lighter topics, Juneteenth is coming up. It's the federal holiday now, so I hope you take some time that day to give back to the Black community. You know, put your money where your mouth is and your belief is. Also, I will be planting my garden again this year. As y'all know, if you've been following my journey, I planted a garden last year for the first time after speaking about it for years. And I'm glad I actually put my foot where my mouth is. And I did what I said I wanted to do. And for 8 months, I didn't need to buy tomatoes or peppers at the grocery store. Yes, guy, I'm speaking to the microphone. You can't see the people staring at me, but I'm gonna let you know they've been staring at me, and it's okay. But for 8 months, I didn't have to buy tomatoes, and I thought that was freaking awesome. So I'm gonna do it again and grow some other plants. And then, like I said earlier, I'm celebrating 1 year of leaving my job and being a part of the Great Resignation. Listen, to conclude us off, look forward to the new episodes. This episode, listen back, share it with your friends, have a conversation, DM me, email me, let's conversate. I want to definitely have more engaged conversations where I'm not just speaking, but I want y'all to speak. So definitely working on the kinks of being able to do that, whether it's Twitter Space or going on Twitch or live or something like that. I definitely want to hear your input after we speak on a certain topic. And to leave y'all with something, listen, I've died and rebirthed many times in this lifetime. And this time I'm dying hard. My hard habits, my old negative habits are dying hard, okay? I'm gonna show you something. They are dying hard. See? My old habits are dying hard. See, they're looking at me. That's exactly what I wanted to show y'all. Old habits are dying hard, and I'm making sure I connect with my present self. I'm always staying connected with my present self. So I assure my future self, like, girl, this is what you wanted, right? It's okay. Like, be present constantly. And, like, simply letting go. It's not easy, but always letting go the things that don't serve me. And knowing what's next is best for me, honestly. And having faith that it's going to be okay. And I want you to exercise that as well. Have faith that things are going to be okay. Even when it's like, even if it's an ounce, a mustard seed, even if it's a dang prayer, even if it's a cry, a dance, a drive that you just were like, yo, God, universe, whoever you pray to, I just need your help. Guides, I need your help. This is what's happening. I have faith that you got it. You got it. And then let it go. Continue to let it go. It's a constant thing, okay? If anybody told you letting go when you've been working on yourself, kudos to the people who just can do it right away. But most times it's a continuous journey. So 555. I'm going to leave now. I'm going to leave y'all with that about transformation. I'm built for transformation. Remind yourself what you're built for, okay? Because silence is not the wave here. That's our motto on Share Some More Radio Show. I want to thank you. This is definitely a vlog style because you see I zoomed in. If you're listening to me on the podcast, definitely hop on the visuals on YouTube, on Instagram. Let's stay connected on all social media platforms, including Twitter. I love y'all so much. This is Share Some More Radio Show. Your host, DJ OG Princess. And we out. Peace.